If you're one of the millions heading home for the holidays by airplane, you may be dreading the long lines and intrusive searches that a trip through an airport checkpoint can mean these days. Since 9/11, $40 billion has been spent to beef up airport security, with most of it going to hire 50,000 screeners who enforce rules often considered annoying and arbitrary. Travelers feel so hassled by the screeners that their bosses at TSA, the Transportation Security Administration, have launched an image makeover and a PR campaign to convince the public that there's a good reason for the inconveniences and indignities.
Everything must go through the machine.
Go to a checkpoint and passengers are bellyaching about the undressing, the unbuckling, the taking off of their shoes, which they don't have to do in Europe or even Israel.
Well, you can't now.
There's a lot of stress and griping about having to pack their little liquids into baggies. They resent that each and every traveler is treated like a possible terrorist, even little old ladies.
You all right?
When we asked Kip Hawley, the outgoing head of TSA, if all this is really necessary, he wanted us to know that the terrorist threat has not gone away.
This is war. These people are trying to kill us. They got on the planes on September 11th, 2001, killed 3,000 people. And they will do it again as many times as they can.
There's been a lot of criticism about people who clearly are not terrorists. The 90-year-old little old lady.
Right.
My mother,
Yeah.
in fact,
My mother.
was patted down
Yeah.
and pulled aside. It doesn't make any sense. It's not common sense.
You can't say to Al-Qaeda, if you give us somebody who looks like they're 90 years old or 9 months old, they're going to get a free pass, because I guarantee you they are watching, they notice it, and that's where they'll come. Well, this is our main information center.
It's here on their watch floor that analysts track thousands of flights, especially when there's a passenger on board that TSA suspects has links to terrorist groups.
There are 2 in the air right now that we're paying attention to.
They're in the air, as you and I are sitting.
As you and I are speaking.
But you know who they are, you know what airplane they're on,
and we know what they were carrying with them. We know the whole scoop. Do they know? Maybe not. And I think the public doesn't realize that this is for real, and that this happens every day.
But TSA has a record of tracking and stopping innocent passengers, which has contributed to the agency's overall credibility problem.
Remove your jacket, like finish your trip.
In focus groups, travelers questioned the TSA's ability to keep us safe, and also complained about pointless security measures and rude and incompetent screeners.
We're not out there to be fake security guards or to...
LaDonta Edwards and Gary Wilkes, who work at Washington, D.C. area airports, say screeners feel the public's hostility every day. Has anybody ever thrown anything at either of you?
No, not at me, but I've seen...
You've seen that too?
I've seen objects thrown, yes.
Passengers can be so surly, screeners feel abused and frazzled.
Stress.
Feel anxious.
You feel anxious.
This isn't group therapy. It's actually screener school.
I mean, what is the impact on security?
TSA is sending every one of its 50,000 screeners back for retraining in how to treat the flying public. But from what we heard about how the public treats them,
just disrespecting your ability to do your job.
It's no wonder these guys need anger management.
You hear, well, I have a flight to catch. Hurry up, do this, do that. You know, it's just, you're taking your time to be nice and courteous to them because that's your job, and they don't appreciate it.
Sometimes it can be so paralyzing you can't do anything. You just want to bury your head somewhere.
The perception is we yell back, we scream, we get into combative mode, we're ready to fight. You're human. What do we do to change that perception?
And we're teaching people not to react to their emotions. Actually smile, still be pleasant, and send your positive emotions to that individual.
So what are we going to do?
The price tag for all this retraining is $35 million. Then there's the new police-style uniforms to give the screeners a more authoritative look. It's all meant to help the screeners deal with the challenges of the job. What's the most bizarre thing that you've seen someone put in their carry-on and go through the screener?
I can tell you the most bizarre that has gone through the X-ray machine.
Yeah.
Passengers have actually by mistake sent pets through, and children by accident.
Not children.
Yes,
Yes.
by accident. We actually had to put signs on the machine.
Don't put your children through the
Don't
machine.
put your
yeah.
children through the X-ray machine.
Infants and the carriers, they just take the whole carrier and send it through.
Please make sure all of your items go inside of the X-ray before you walk away from your property.
But the question is everything we go through at checkpoints actually making us safer? Security expert Bruce Schneier says no. He says much of it is just security theater.
Security theater. It's a phrase I coined for security measures that look good but don't actually do anything.
Schneier, who's been an advisor to TSA, but also its most persistent thorn in the side, says there are too many silly rules.
Have a little bag with liquids.
Take the baggies, which became a rule in 2006 when British authorities uncovered a plot to bring liquid bombs on board airliners headed for the U.S. Schneier says the liquid limits may make us feel safe, but do little to stop terrorists.
If you try to bring a bottle of liquid onto an airplane, a screener's going to see it, look at it, say, oh, look, it's a bottle of liquid, toss it over his shoulder into a trash can.
They don't test it.
No, of course not. No, and they're not even scared of it. They put it in a trash can right next to them, and that's where it stays all day. Let's say I want to smuggle a liquid on board an airplane. I go through airport security. If they catch me, I go around and go through again. If they catch me, I go around and go through again. I can do it 100, 1,000. I can do it all day until I get it through. So because it's not treated as dangerous, there's no point in taking it away.
But the British police did uncover a plot to use liquids.
And if
so
there were,
you've eliminated something. You've
So-
put it off the table.
And the question is,
that can't be bad.
it's not bad. The question is it good? If there are 1,000 ways to blow up an aircraft and you get rid of one, you're a little bit safer. If you spent, I'm making this up, $10 million to do that, are you $10 million safer? Probably not.
How about $160 million safer? That's what TSA is spending each year on more than 2,000 behavior detection officers. They prefer to remain anonymous as they roam checkpoints examining microfacial expressions, looking for signs of nervousness or anxiety. TSA claims it can help spot a terrorist. I have come crashing into airports, all agitated because I'm late or whatever. Wouldn't they pick me out too?
No, because you're normal. Everybody that comes to an airport is behind and is tense and is anxious and am I going to miss my flight?
And they can tell the difference
Oh, yeah.
between anxious because I'm going to miss my flight
Yeah.
and anxious because I'm carrying a bomb.
Yes. Yes, you can.
That's not a lot of truth in that, but they'd love it if you reported it because, in all seriousness, we are safer if the bad guys believe we got this piece of magic.
We asked TSA if any of the 180,000 passengers stopped by the behavior officers for an interview turned out to be a terrorist. They wouldn't tell us, but congressional sources said no.
Bag check.
Now, Congress is asking TSA for proof that all these expensive security measures are working, because it turns out that despite rigorous training, screeners continue to miss things that government inspectors smuggle through the checkpoints. 19 airports were looked at, and IEDs got through.
IED components in some cases.
But why do I hear a 60-70% failure rate?
I don't know.
You don't know what
I
that
don't know
number is?
I'd have to go look at that report.
You can't tell me, can you, that you have a chart that shows failure rates going down like that?
Well, I can tell you that our results have improved. Knives and guns do not present a huge problem for us now. We're very, very good at those. And completed IEDs, we're very good at those. The small pieces, we have to continue to work to get at even the smallest pieces of an IED.
TSA's solution has been to invest even more money in checkpoints, adding a new layer of state-of-the-art technology. Suspicious object detected. Like these $200,000 advanced X-ray machines that highlight suspicious objects for the screeners in red boxes. And to put an end to one of the most intrusive, some say creepy procedures, wanding or the pat-down, this new high-tech investment, the whole-body imager. It's been nicknamed the peeper because it sees through our clothes searching for bombs. When privacy groups raised a fuss about the government seeing us naked, TSA cut back on the program.
This is where we'll see the image from the machine.
That's correct.
In here.
Now, Kip Hawley wants travelers to know that the only place the images are ever seen is inside a locked, windowless room.
Currently, she has 2 items in each pocket. She has one on the left, one on the right.
The machine automatically blurs the face, so the operator doesn't know whose body she's looking at.
You can see the bra.
Yes, that's
So it's
normal.
That's normal. To be frank, I thought I was going to see something almost pornographic,
No.
and it's not.
No.
What happens to this image now? Is that stored anywhere?
No. It's destroyed as soon as the next one comes. The machines are not capable of storing images.
Experts say that one thing that has made air travel safer is something the airlines did: harden the cockpit doors. As for TSA's high-priced technology and its 50,000 screeners, Bruce Schneier thinks there are more effective ways to spend the money.
We take away guns and bombs so the terrorists use box cutters. So we confiscate box cutters and corkscrews, and they put explosives in their shoes. We screen shoes, and they use liquids. We take away liquids, and they're going to do something else.
So what do you do? What do? You just throw up your hands?
Well, most security has to happen before the airport. If you think about the liquid bombers who captured in London, they were captured because of investigation and intelligence. But if you want to deal with a terrorist threat, you've got to do it before they get to the airport.
But Kip Hawley at TSA says we have to do both: intelligence work and screening at the airports.
You have said some alarming things to us today. You've said America is under attack.
It is.
You've said they're out to kill us.
They are.
Some people will say that you're saying those things to scare us and to justify all the things that TSA does.
Not true.
That what you do at the checkpoints is not really making us safer, it's just making us feel safer. It's almost like theater.
Yeah. This isn't theater, this is war. We understand the American public doesn't have 9/11 in the front of their mind. But that's why the TSA was created, to never forget. And that's what we do every day, every shift, every checkpoint, is never forget. And it's our pledge to the public and our commitment to ourselves: stop those attacks.